We're getting the very beginning parts of a hurricane that is currently coming in. So I have no idea how well you're going to hear me, but we're going to give it a try. So, Robert and I are just getting ready to head to the kitchen for a marathon session of labeling. Things about the businesses that you don't think about. Like, you have to actually label these, and you have to actually seal them, and it takes time. So, that is on our agenda for today. Robert has been unbelievably sweet this week, and he is getting ready to spend his third day off from his incredibly stressful job, helping me working in the kitchen. So I'm very thankful that he's going to be doing that. We don't know what time we're going to get back, so unfortunately, these guys are going to stay locked up. It's probably for their safety anyways, because the winds are supposed to get pretty gnarly today. We don't actually live in like an area where we have to be concerned about actual hurricanes, but we always get the remnants of it. And that means lots of wind, lots of rain. It's just life in the Ozarks. So, but before we can head out, because we do still live in Homestead, even though we're not working it a whole lot, we've got chickens and ducks. They need food. They need water. We have lots of cats and dogs. This one right here. See, cats are weird. They always they go right in front of your feet, and then as you walk past them or you walk around them, they just go right back to right in front of your feet. And you're just like, do you not understand how irritating this is? Oh, I just jumped chicken water on my foot. All the animals are tended and taken care of. Malachi has taken responsibility for the puppies. We have decided that we're going to get rid of 2 of them, and we're probably going to keep 3. We might just keep 2. We're most likely going to be keeping Kiefer and Booch, and I like Mochi. She's so sweet. She did, however, the other day have a run-in with what I'm guessing is a snake. And her whole face was super puffy. Malachi sent me a picture of it. I'll put it in here. I think she learned her lesson. Don't mess with a snake. Like her whole, it was so bad. I felt so bad for her. So, this wind is torturous. So, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to have some breakfast. Robert and I are going to hit the road. And we'll see you at the kitchen. When I first got here, I noticed that there was a problem. Some of these ones that I made just the other day, I made a pink kraut and 2 taco krauts, and they're starting to ooze. So I thought I had the batch dialed in just right to where it could not ooze, but apparently I'm wrong about that. So we need to figure out why it's oozing, and but in the meantime, we need to actually stop the oozing. This one's really slippery. I'm kind of nervous about it. New gloves, new pants, obviously. And then just like kind of at the beginning, I'm very careful with how much of mass of my hand I put in there. So I try and stretch out my fingers as far as I can. But once it kind of goes down, it's not an issue. I can stick my whole fist in there. As long as I don't go past the line of my glove, I'm good. And I've got it on a pallet. It's like, maybe at some point it was a pallet. I don't know, but it'll hold my weight. And I put pretty much all the force that I can possibly put on this thing. Because I'm trying to push down, I don't know if you can tell, but like the liquid volume has dropped drastically. There we go. That's about the liquid level that I had when I started it, so it ain't going down any further than that. This particular form is not entirely helpful. I made it. It was just something that she had asked me to create. The health department had asked me to make something that I can track my batches on. And I'm thinking I'm going to do an individual one for each recipe, and I can keep track of everything on the same sheet, including like where I got the produce from. And I feel like one that is individual to each batch is just simply going to be more beneficial to me. And it'll only take me a few minutes to make it. There we go. pH test it. 3.94. Oh, it's rising a little bit. If it's ever rising, well, I mean, really, if it's going in any direction, I just make sure that I wait until it kind of settles out for like a minute. Not even a minute, like maybe like if it hasn't moved in like 20 seconds, I'm like, all right, that's the number. And I calibrated this right before we started. I calibrate these pretty much any time that it matters what the reading is. 4.0. I mean, we're obviously well under 4.6, and it has been 3 days. Today's the 28th. I made these on the 24th, so it's been 4 days. And it is clearly, it probably dropped down underneath at day 2. I just need to make sure I check this before day 5 and make sure that it is well under. I'm still kind of in this experimental stage of all of this, somewhat. Like, I'm still trying to figure out exactly the patterns of the fermentations and lots of different stuff. So oftentimes I'll check this every time I come, even though I only need to check it on day 5. And it's probably not the best thing in the world for it. I haven't had any negative consequences from it, but you're opening it and you're exposing it to air. So, and obviously if it's oozing out, I have to check it. I have to tend it. So while I got it open, why not check it? All right, we're good. It's settling out at 4.01. So that is the pH that I'm going to write down in my log. Then I'll check the date because I always get the date wrong. And it is 4.01. And after this point, unless it oozes, I'm not going to touch it until the fermentation is complete. At about it's between 3 to 5 weeks. I usually check it right around the 3-week mark, see if it's ready, and then I will plan decanting after that. But yeah, I just check it on the 3-week mark so I can see where it's at and where it's headed, make sure everything is good. Because once it's dropped well under 4.6, it ain't coming back up. Today is in fact the 27th, so I'm glad I checked before I wrote it down. So that is day number 3. It just dropped significantly underneath the threshold needed, which is 4.6, and that is what inhibits all bacterial growth, all negative bacterial growth. So we are good, we are safe. We're gonna button this back up, refill the moat with some salt brine, and put it back on the shelf and tend the other 2. Also, one thing to note, while I do currently use Baja Gold mineral sea salt in my ferments, I fill up the moat with just standard sea salt, like just absolute plain bleached, I don't know if it's bleached, but it's just plain white sea salt without all the extra minerals to it, because the extra minerals leave deposits inside of this thing. So yes, and I use salt brine because it takes longer for it to evaporate. As opposed to the regular salt. I mean, they both evaporate, but the sea salt just takes longer. So Robert is back. He has joined me. We both had plans for the morning. My plan was to come straight here, and his plan was to go to Peterson Processing and pick up some chicken feed, which he did, and he has now joined us. Which, speaking of Peterson Processing, on October 12th, they're having a Farmstead Expo, and I'm going to be speaking at it, as well as there's also going to be a couple of other speakers, and it should just be a nice, good, fun expo, homesteady type event. So if you guys are local, it's a one-day event only. I will be talking on the benefits of fermentation for yourself, for your garden, and for your animals. So be sure to check it out if you guys are local. It should be an awesome time. I think it's like $10 to get in. And they just ask that you register ahead of time if you can, so that they can plan accordingly. So hope you guys are going to check that out. But for now, it is going to be a label marathon. Robert is in there and he is getting some labels, and we're just going to start labeling up. I genuinely don't even know how many. Let me see if I can figure out. What's math here? Probably about 600 products that we have to label today. We have to label them, and we have to put the lid dot on it, and we have to seal it off with the saran wrap, which is going to be really nice. It's not a saran wrap, it's like a shrink wrap. It's going to be really nice when we get to our new kombucha bottles, because those ones have, the lids themselves are like self-closing or self-sealing. They have a tamper evident seal on them. So we won't have to seal the kombucha bottles, but we will have to continue to do the jars for the fermented foods. So here's about a third of it. Ready?
We got Fermented Homestead here right now. This is Robert at Fermented Homestead. Just took some eggs out of the Prep for Life cube freeze dryer. I got a few other things in there I can show you. Just give me a few moments. I'm gonna cut this mylar that I got in half. I'm gonna try something different. We have Tiffany from Fermented Homestead. She's gonna try some.
Trying some eggs. Ooh.
Right.
I like that.
Crunchy. All right.
That's a good snack. I like it.
I'll get some other stuff too.
Do it.
Show it to them. Hi, wife.
Hi. I'm trying to do math.
Yeah. Here we go. I already took the pressure off of it. I know what you're gonna say. This is store-bought frozen food. It's no good for you, and I know, but it was given to me free, so I took it in. All right, here we go. It's like crunches in half. This is that buffalo style chicken, fully cooked already. So, oh, okay. Well, yeah, I don't know if I would. Well, maybe. It's really dry. Yeah, I'd have to rehydrate this and cook it. But it's good though, nonetheless, fully cooked. I'm about to bag this up here. A few more in here. Took about 28 hours to get this done. Speaking of time limits, I gotta get these chicks out of here. They've been in here for a couple days. And we had 7 hatch, 5 didn't hatch. Yep, about to get them in the brooder in a little bit. Got a little bit of brewer's yeast there. A little nutrient in there. Alright, I'm closing it, guys. Alright, that's what's going on right now. We just came back from the steakhouse. Had a little bit of dinner. Everything's cool. Probably getting ready to watch a movie or something like that. Relax. But first, I'm going to bag this stuff up. I'm going to cut these in half. So I think I'll be able to put a dozen in this. A tray of the meat in this. Another tray of the meat in this. Another tray of the meat in this one. Everything should work out. Let's catch up to them.
Woo!
All right, y'all. Have a nice night. Hopefully we will too. Peace out, sauerkraut.
Peace out, sauerkraut.
Oh, you heard that?
Is that a whole video? Does that finish the video?
No, it doesn't. You got to say it too.
Peace out, sauerkraut.
There you go. Now it's finished.